What's up, Trader's Edge? It's Mark Sebastian, your only option. Today, we're going to talk about what happened with the S&P 500 and the overall market. We're going to look at gold, silver, oil, the works. We're going to be talking about bonds. We're going to talk about the VIX, and I'm going to give you that one stock to watch with this week. So with that, let's dig in. Guys, slight update for the SPX on Tuesday. We had a long weekend. SPX up about 0.1, Dow up about 0.07, Q's down 62 cents, good for 0.1%. Pretty much a flat day across the board. IWM down about 0.09, kind of everything sitting there. And why? Well, we had a lot of kind of fighting amongst the market. On one hand, you have Apple, which had a really strong day, up about $8 on Tuesday, and Nvidia up about, 1.2%, good for $2.15. Then you look at Microsoft, it was down 1%, Meta down, and then Google, who's been so strong, down about 1.2%. So that part of the equation, pretty flat. You're saying, well, then, why wasn't the Dow up? Well, on one hand, you have XLF having a pretty nice day, up about 1.06%. And then you've got energy down about 1.1%. So we saw money just kind of floating around between these indexes. I think traders are trying to figure out what's going on. Even RSP equal weight was down as well, just about everything. So what is happening? Why is this happening? Well, gold certainly isn't a safe haven right now. Long term, yes. Near term, no. Silver, definitely not a safe haven, has never been, as gold is. Bitcoin continues to prove not a safe haven. Basically, just kind of correlates with the NASDAQ, guys. So where do you run? You run to bonds. And what I want to show you is what's happened since November. In November, TLT, which is about a 20-year duration bond portfolio, was over 90. From the 26th of November to about the 4th of February, call it 3.5 months, 2.5 months, excuse me, basically just grinded lower. Since then, though, look at the move that is happening. We're seeing bonds become a safe haven again. Why? Well, interest rate policy. Inflation doesn't look that bad. Economy looks a little soft. Maybe bonds. At the same time, RSP, equal weight, still sitting near a high even as the Qs look bad. Why? Because they're selling those 9 stocks that make up the Mag 7. So where we are with the SPX, kind of right in the middle. So what we're seeing is money sell Mag 7. And Mag 7 has 9 names, right? It's Apple, Amazon, Broadcom, AVGO, Google, Microsoft, Meta, Nvidia, Tesla, Taiwan Semiconductor. So we're seeing those names get sold, notably Microsoft, Amazon too, some other ones in there. And a bunch of that money is going into XLE and XLF, XLI. Look at the industrials. Nice day. So you're seeing buying of industrials, financials, energy, consumer discretionary, consumer non-discretionary, and selling of communication and of technology. Well, the stuff they're selling is way bigger market cap than the stuff they're buying. So are they buying equal dollar amounts of both? No. Otherwise, we'd be flat. So they buy some of that, some of those less loved names, the other 491, and they spend the rest buying protection in the bond market. The bond market is telling us the market is worried. The VIX is confirming it. It's over 20 and closed over 20 for the second time, the third time in 3 days. Hasn't gone anywhere, but there is noticeable fear in VIX. And even though we're at like right off these all-time highs, tells me there may be a big move coming. Some comeuppance, a come-to moment. And it could be this week or next week. We don't have, major economic news this week. We got Fed meeting notes, PC on Friday. Still have some earnings peppered in there. But I think this has a lot more to do with just general fear of AI software and what it's going to do to the market and the heavy investing. So I see a lot of confusion and a lot of money moving around trying to find new places. So what is my one stock to watch? What are you looking out for this week? And I'm going to give you an interesting one. I want to point you toward high beta names. SMR. Thing moves around a ton. It's been dropping. I'm real interested to see if this thing binds a bid. You see SMR start to rally, the whole market's going to rally. The other thing I'm watching is 0DTE. We have options expiring on 9 equities now, 3 times a week, eventually 5. The amount of volume that we're seeing in those names is astounding. So for instance, Apple did 1.1 million contracts on Tuesday. Of those contracts, 400,000 of them expire tomorrow. The volume that we're seeing in 0DTE options is starting to spill into the stock. These names are going to become very interesting to trade. This is why you need to be joining me and Leisha today and all week at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time as we hold our 0DTE Summit and look at these equities, look at these indexes, and how 0DTE is affecting them and how you can trade them. It's absolutely free, no cost. Just register here. If you're watching me on YouTube, please like and subscribe. I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. Have a good one.